quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Welcome to Jailbreak.
Nice. Nice. Thank you, ladies. As of today, I have owned my 2024 Trek Rail 9.9 T-Type for exactly 1 year. And in that 1 year, I have been on the road in my 2019 4Runner, overlanding the United States for the last 365 days. And this Trek accompanied me on the back of my 4Runner on every trail that I ran in the truck, and then every trail that I ran on the bike. And that trail is quite varied. I went from the Everglades to California to the Rocky Mountains to Mississippi to Maine, all over the United States. This bike has been there, and I'm going to show you in this video what held up on this Trek Rail and what kind of failed on this Trek Rail. And I'm talking the SRAM T-Type as well as the bike itself. The extended 750 watt battery, the controls, the switches, everything on this bike is going to be included in this video. And then at the end of the video, which will be a majority of the video, you're going to get to watch me ride all these different trails for your own enjoyment, because I know a lot of you guys really enjoy the mountain bike footage. So here, as they say, we go. So number one of the biggest selling points from my old Trek Rail to the new Trek Rail was the Bosch Smart System with the larger battery. It went from a 625 up to a 750 watt battery. Okay, the first pro on this bike is the larger battery. Instead of having the 625, it's got the 750 watt battery in it. And I never had an issue with my old battery, and I never actually ran my bike out of juice, and I never had my battery fall out. But on this particular model, not only does the frame have what they claim is a beefier carbon fiber structure, but it has a larger battery, and they've made adjustments inside so that the battery doesn't rattle, shake, anything like that. Even though 6,000 miles on my old bike, I never ran into an issue. So that was last year when I first got the bike. Now that I've owned it for a year, I think the 750 runs down way quicker than the 625 did. Same exact Bosch Generation 4, same amount of Newton meters being put out, and I ride almost exclusively in mountain bike. I never go into boost mode. And the other thing that sucks about it is you don't have any way to know how fast you're going or how many miles you have left on your battery. The new Trek doesn't have that. It doesn't have that option. You have to add something to it, like the Bontrager miles per hour thing, one of those different devices, which is just something extra to rip off when you dump. You know what I'm saying? It just sucks that that's not there anymore. So that's definitely a con. Also, adding anything to the handlebars, Bontrager's proprietary carbon fiber handlebars aren't round. They're elliptical, so mounting things to it absolutely sucks. JMO. One thing I did to this mountain bike that I did to my last mountain bike was add the Epic E-chip, a place in Australia that sells chips for the Bosch. I think they sell them for all sorts of mountain bikes, but they sell them for the Bosch Trek mountain bike specifically. And in my last video, or the initial video I did of when I first bought this bike, I showed you exactly how to wire this E-chip in. This E-chip just unlocks it so that it goes past 20 miles an hour. Period. That's it. And it has no issues whatsoever. It's got an app that's incredibly programmable. You can program it on so many different parameters. It's awesome. It's definitely something I highly recommend, because when you're going down a hill and the bike hits 20 miles an hour and you're still pedaling because you're going back up a hill, you know, you're in a saddle, the limiter on the Bosch motor feels like someone's putting the brakes on, and you don't want that. I'm not doing this so I can go 75 miles an hour. It'll go as fast as you can pedal, and that's that, period. And I've done my Trek firmware updates at Trek dealers with the E-chip in place. All good, no problems. There it is. So if you want to know how to install the chip, you can watch the old video. I'll leave a link below. So there is that. The E-chip, the Epic chip, works perfectly on the new generation smart system. Now, one thing that absolutely sucks on this bike are the SRAM code silver brakes. They stop really poorly, and they have been loud as you can imagine since the day I've got it. It stops the bike adequately enough, but it's so loud and disgusting sounding, it's ridiculous. My XTR brakes were leaps and bounds ahead of these. Unfortunately, like I said, I bought the bike, and the following day, I went on the road for 365 days. So getting an opportunity to swap out the brakes and put Maguras or XTRs on wasn't really convenient, so I just stuck with them, but I gotta say, they absolutely suck. And before anybody chimes in, I build off-road trucks with world-class brakes on them. I know how to bed brakes in, and even on a mountain bike, you should bed your brake pads in so that they work properly. That was done with the SRAMs, and it still didn't work. They absolutely suck. And now that I watched the video I did a year ago when I first got the bike, they suck just as bad now as they did then, because in that video, apparently, I called them out on it too. So, the SRAM brakes suck. Period. So one thing I didn't think would hold up would be these SRAM AXS pods for shifting. But after a year, I've only lost one pad. And before I hit the road, I bought extra pads, extra pod, extra T-Type derailleur, and an extra set of an extra cassette, as well as 2 flat top chains, just so I would have them with me while I was traveling. And I gotta say, the pods work perfectly every time, period. I can't complain. So another thing that sucks on the Trek is Bontrager's tires. I gave them a fair shake. I hoped for the best, because who wants to spend $200 putting a new tire front and rear on a brand new bike? But as soon as I hit some actual trails, I realized that these tires were absolutely junk. I kind of knew they were going to be, but again, I gave them a fair shake. The carbon fiber rims from Bontrager, just like on my old bike, they hold up perfectly, and I weigh close to 250 pounds. So just me riding the bike is putting some duress on these things, and the rims hold up perfectly. But I switched over to Maxxis tires because the Bontrager sucked. It is what it is. What are you going to do? But you'd think for the price tag that Bontrager would swallow their pride and realize their tires suck, because we know it. They probably should know it. But again, I'll digress. So the next thing isn't necessarily bad, but I just don't understand the reason for it, and that's the Air Whiz. The front forks have the Air Whiz set up on it. The tires have the Air Whiz set up on it, and the rear shock has the Air Whiz set up on it. Now, it helps you set your bike up for your weight, etc. And using the SRAM app, you can set your front forks up to the exact air pressure for your weight, as well as the rear shock for your weight, the exact pressure, and then the tire pressure. But to be perfectly honest, I don't see any other advantage to it. It's just another app that I have to use. I'm already using the Bosch Flow app. I'm already using the Epic app, and now the SRAM app. But I mean, once you set your suspension up, you're pretty much good to go. Unless there's other features to this that I'm completely missing. But otherwise, I would have liked to have taken the money for the Air Whiz and put it someplace else on this particular bike, because there's other things that it could use as opposed to flashing red LEDs, but whatever. But otherwise, it's just things to fail, and I would rather have seen the money spent elsewhere, like putting XTR brakes on this thing. I don't see any advantage to it. Maybe I'm missing the point, but I don't believe I am. I can set up my front forks and my rear shock for my weight and style of riding by myself. It's easy enough, one and done. So the Air Whiz, it's not necessarily bad. I just don't see the point in it. You see what I'm saying? Money could have been spent better elsewhere. JMO. So I said all of that a year ago when I initially got the bike. Since then, I removed the Air Whiz on the rims. But the front and rear shocks, I set them up quite a while ago. You can check them with the app if you want to. But to this day, I mean, if I was home instead of on the road in my truck for the last year solid, chances are I would have put a coil spring in the rear and I would have changed out the front forks. But I haven't. They work fine. All is well. I still don't see the need for the air whiz. I'd rather see no air whiz and XTR brakes and better tires perhaps, and maybe a standard handlebar that wasn't elliptical shaped. But, you know, it is what it is. I should have thought of those things before I traded in my old bike, because to be perfectly honest, every time I ride this Trek Rail, I wish I had my old Trek Rail, which was a 9.8 XT that I turned into an XTR and then put coilovers on, etc., so forth, and blah, blah, blah. But the forks, the rear spring, it's all good. Works fine. No complaints. RockShox knows what they're doing. It's good enough. It works. How's that for a glowing review? Just saying. Now, let's get to the main course here. The entire reason I got this bike was the SRAM T-Type transmission. The transmission that allows you to shift standing up under load. As a matter of fact, it shifts better under load. That's what they told us, right? Well, a year's gone by, 1,000 miles. Here's what I think. So my entire reason for getting this bike, trading in my old bike at a loss to Trek to get this bike, was for this revolutionary shifting setup. Well, after 300 miles, I had to bring my bike to a Trek dealer in the Ozarks because I didn't have the tools to change everything out, but my bike wasn't shifting anymore. 300 miles. The flat top chain was completely junk, and the entire rear cassette had to be swapped out. And fortunately, I had the cassette because Trek didn't, and I had the flat top chain because, again, the Trek dealership didn't. He swapped them in, and then he dialed it in, and the bike shifted beautifully. But I gotta tell you, 300 miles, $700 worth of parts, because the cassette is $600 and the chain's $100. That's insane. That is insane. And it was 300 miles of riding trails. I'm 56 years old, man. I'm not out there doing tabletops and doing massive jumps and all this other crap. I'm riding my mountain bike. I got an e-bike because it allows me to ride better going uphill, etc., because I like to take stupid trails for someone of my skill level.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Well, that was the old bike. Let me show you this crash that I did in Vegas. It was unbelievable that I happened to have a helmet cam on, because this was epic. I'm riding my mountain bike behind the hotels out in Las Vegas, and this happened.
Oh, fuck.
That really sucked. And it was one of those times where I had to lay there for a minute because I assumed I was seriously injured. And somehow I actually wasn't. But I went straight up over a 4-foot fence that I didn't see until my tire actually made contact with it. You can see in the video as good as I can see IRL, or in real life. You see what I mean? Anyway. Wear gloves, wear a helmet, wear a GoPro. What could possibly go wrong? You know what I mean? But that pissed me off. That bummed me out. It really, really did. It's unbelievable that the cassette didn't even last 500 miles. The cassette didn't outlast the chain. And I oil my chain and my cassette religiously. You know what I'm saying? And I keep my chain clean. Period. So that absolutely sucked. Know that. Does this shift better than an XTR? I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. At some points it sounds just as clunky as a regular old cable derailleur. Sometimes it does its job. But it's hard to say. If I had to do it over again, I'd have all XTR. I wouldn't be messing with the T-Type whatsoever at all. So there it is, the good, the bad, the ugly. If I had to do it over again, I would have kept my old bike, put it that way. I had a lot into that bike. I built it myself. Links below to that build will be in the description box below. But the rest of this video is for you guys that love to see the trails. I'm going to show you from Red Rock, Colorado. I'm going to show you Slick Rock in Moab. I'm going to show you a little bit of Mississippi, a little bit of Kentucky, and a little bit of the Redwood Forest. So enjoy. And do me a favor. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment below for the algorithm. And I will definitely return the favor. So enjoy. Here it is. Ooh. Cactus and thorns. Oh. Okay. knows the problem. Easy girl. Wet and sandy and going up. Ate a few bugs, but made it. All right. Okay, I got the headlamp on. See how long this bad boy lasts. And I got the big magic shine headlight if you need it. Let's see what's cracking. Well, the headlight's outshining the night core headlight. The helmet light, I should say. There's a lot of bats in here. And I never usually use any other power level. So, but it's got power. It'll definitely help you. If you don't pedal, it doesn't go. Understand that. It's a pedelec, they call it. I just shifted wrong. That's all right. Yeah, it's getting warmer up here. It's nice and cool in the valley. Going up the entire time. And I still have a damaged shin. I just gotta cover it up. Not much. Okay, misjudged. Sorry, second break after that hairpin that I missed. Okay, I don't know this trail, and it's dark, so remember that. And there's a lot of pedal snuffers on this trail. You know what? My headlight is pointing kind of up. There we go. Try that. Come on, go. Got it. Nice. Oops. Almost missed that hairpin. Almost missed that hairpin. There's another one, right? Come on, girl. Got it. Sweet. Sweet. Man, it is hot up here. 8:30 at night. Pretty technical little trail for all the small pedal slammers, I guess you call them. Yeah, I missed it. It happens. All right. Take a break. I'm going as far as I feel safe. How's that? People can comment all they want. I'm old, it's hot, I'm injured, and I don't know the trail. And I'm still trying to do it. Hairpins are kicking my ass. Got it. That was dicey. For me it was. Need it. I don't think I'd make that one. Okay. This is further than I've ever gone. It is. All right. How do we get off this trail? Oh, did I break the seat? Is that what's going on? XDR brakes blow these SRAM code silvers away. Ugh. I kind of knew that. And Goodale's up in Nashua. I left my front brake line 12 inches too long for no particular reason. All right. Good to go. Seems to be. This is very tight. I don't know if you can tell. Sharp inclines in very tight places. I don't know if you're seeing this. I hope so. I hope this is all on video. Because all the big mountain bike channels do videos like this, but you don't have a park like this. Or a place. Is that a house? A boat? I don't know what that is. The entire house is melting over there. Ahead, caution. All right. Let's see if we can find our way back to where we came in. Trek Rail with the 750 battery, the Bosch Smart System, etc. .220 front rotor, 200 rear rotor, squirrel running by. A bunch of people, I'm not sure why. Look at all the people they killed, kept their mountain bikes in two cars. Made them into Bigfoot jerky. I don't know. Ooh, second time. I hit that fast brake on the motor. I don't know how to get over a log directly after coming around a real tight corner. You know? I learn as I go. Go with the flow. My buddy Matty up there in his ultralight, dropping things on me. Probably. Could be. It's possible. That is a totally electric dirt bike, or whatever it is. I am so glad I made that. That is awesome. Because that was scary. It's like standing on your front bumper. Except you're not in a cage. Come as you are. I've not eaten one thing on this day. As you were, as I want you to be. Okay. So that appears to be badass. It's just gonna be dark. That's the first time I've done slick rock on a mountain bike. Mama never understood. Look at the fake. That's a knockoff. Knockoff of my truck. That is what I didn't want my truck to be. Just a regular old 4Runner with a bunch of crap stuck to it. .31-inch tires. It was a steep climb, no doubt, but I was so enraged by make-believe boy and all his yellow lights. I have enough lights on my truck to light up World Trade Center 7. Oh, you don't know what that is? Yeah, it's the third tower that fell on September 11th, but it wasn't hit by anything. They just said fuck it, and they pulled it. So there you go. Mama didn't understand. This fucking family truckster away. Right on, man. Man, you mess up, you go right in that water. Moccasins and gators. Brakes. I'm at dead at sea level, 80 degrees out. Brakes ain't wet. They sound like garbage. The bike's got like 400 miles on it. Ate one right there. Caught it last second. I swapped out the Bontrager tires that came on this and put Max's front and rear. And it's a good thing because this is very sandy. Bontrager sucked in the sand.